So I would like to present you another New England university in the row. The last for today, actually. It's Dartmouth. It's just to talk. I don't know how many of you know where Dartmouth is. So it's quite famous, but not so well known at the same time. So it's in New Hampshire, right on the border of New Hampshire and Vermont. It's a pretty small town, actually. So it has only 1,100 inhabitants, together with the students. So without the students, it's only 6,000. Yeah, 6,000. So that's all. So it's a picture of the Google Maps. There are only rivers and lakes in the neighborhood, and endless forests. So the next, the nearest 5-story house, I guess, is 1.5 hours far away by car. So really, you can see only forests, forests, and forests. So Boston is 2.5 hours far away. So that's maybe the biggest or the nearest really big city. Some words about Dartmouth College. So it's a private liberal arts institution. It was founded in 1769 for educating Native Americans. So that's why it's located at that place. It's a member of the Ivy League, and actually it includes 4 schools. So it includes the Tech, the business school. It includes the Arts and Sciences school, that's commonly used or called as Dartmouth. It also includes the Dartmouth Medical School and the Engineering School Thayer. Altogether, it has 5,375 students, so 4,000 of them are undergrad students. So that's the main focus actually of the college. When you see the yellow arrow, so that's my building, the white one. It's 2 minutes far from the center of the town, so actually everything is 10 minutes far away. The Dartmouth students won actually a competition in 2007 that was organized by Google to build up the university in 3D. So that's a picture of this. So these were my colleagues. I was working in the sensor lab. It was for sensor networks. That was my research topic there. It was an international group, so there was only one American student actually there. All of us were international. So my advisor, Andrew Campbell, the head of the lab on the left side, he was a British professor. And then we had 3 Italian guys at the end, 2 Chinese, 1 guy from New Zealand, and 1 American. The lab was a very interesting place to do research for us because it was full of gadgets. So we could do all kind of experiments we wanted to. And I really like this. So I had a lot of opportunities to work with mobile phones that contained sensors. So we used for sensing the environment and sensing also people and things like that. But we also made up our own device. It's on the left side, left lower corner. We built it. It was an accelerometer sensor with a built-in GPS as well. And we were measuring whether people, what kind of activities are they doing, so whether they are running, sitting, standing, walking, all this kind of stuff, and we were uploading to a central server and inferring on all kind of stuff. So, yeah, as I told you, we did a lot of research experiments, and the funny thing was that the town was so small that whenever we did an experiment, the inhabitants, all of them already noticed them. And they were quite strange experiments. So the first one is not that strange. It was done in a soccer field to measure radio behaviors. But in the second one, Gansop, oh sorry, he was also Gansop, a Korean guy, I forgot to mention. So he was doing an experiment by carrying on a loudspeaker on the streets, and it was extremely noisy because the goal of the experiment was to locate noisy cars. So we were walking around him with mobile phones, and the microphones of the mobile phones detected this noise and located actually. And all the inhabitants were wondering what we are doing, why we are carrying this loudspeaker. And this also had a red light on the back. It made it more strange. There was another experiment we did in our building. We had to carry on sensor devices mounted on chest, on a necklace, on feet, on the hands, whatever, and we got a detailed plan or schedule where to move. And also all the students were wondering, why, what are we doing there? And finally, that was maybe the most funniest experiment. That was just before I arrived. There was a bike that was a lot of sensors were mounted on, sensors detecting pollution, noise. There was also an accelerometer sensor on, so detecting the speed of the bike. There was also a GPS sensor detecting the location of that. And 5 minutes after they started the experiment, the policemen stopped them because they thought that they were terrorists carrying all this stuff. So, as I said, a lot of funny story came to us. So that's a place where I stayed. 3 of us lived here. There was an American guy and another guy from Netherlands doing studies in the medical school. I really enjoyed it because it had a huge garden with an own forest in the backyard and also an own river. So this is pretty nice. But the problem was that the winter arrived quite early. So and then it was very cold. At the beginning I was riding a bike, and after 4 months I think I had to give up because it was too cold for that, and I had to buy a car. So although the town was very small, but it was very, very difficult to live in the town. Everything was owned by the college, and the places were provided only for, or mostly for the graduates, no, undergraduate students, not for the graduate students, especially not for visitors. So it took me a hard time actually to find a place. The house I showed you, it was the second place where I lived. So before going there, I found another place that was very far away, and then I had to move it because I realized that I can't do this. So the winter tour arrived, but the good thing about that, there were a lot of opportunities to winter sports. So I was cross-country skiing, and also the college had an own ski resort. I didn't have that much time to go there, but it was really fun there. And it was almost empty, so nobody went there. Or so empty slopes. Never experienced this. It was a great experience. Also another picture. You will see that the window down there. It's the window of our lab, and half of the window was occupied by the snow. And this was quite good because there was also another level below us. So they had only snow before the window, nothing else. So dark for the full, I don't know, full 3 miles maybe. Another not problem, but it was a very small town, and only a few people were on the streets, especially during winter time. So sometimes I had to kind of escape, and the closest place or closest city was Boston. So I went there quite frequently to really experience crowded streets and to see people around. And I also had a trip to Montreal. I was very lucky to be able to attend the Mobicom and Mobihub conferences. This was right 1 month after I arrived. It was Montreal was 5 hours far away from us, so by car. So my advisor told me, hey, it's a perfect location for you. You should go there. It's a good starting point, and to get some ideas for your research. So I really enjoyed this. And after that, I also attended another conference. It's the NSDI 2008. I got a USENIX grant for this, a student grant, and I was able to go to San Francisco. This conference was a bit out of scope, not really out of scope, but it was on a different topic than I was doing research on. But still, I learned a lot there, and I was really, really happy to be able to attend that one. I was also lucky to be able, or to have been selected for the Fulbright enrichment seminar. So it was a 3-day event, I think. And as you all know, a lot of international students were there, so all the Fulbright students, and we had a lot of fun together. We made a lot of contacts. And what I really enjoyed is on the right side, we had a visit at a high school. We got the opportunity to talk to students, and we got actually tasked to discuss topics on the election, but we ended up by answering questions about our own countries. So, and also what was very surprising for me, that they know a lot about Hungary, because they had a school orchestra that was invited by one of the Hungarian institutions here 2 years ago. So the whole school knew about Hungary. So they were quite very informed.